We're living through one of the biggest economic shifts of our time, but it's happening so quietly, you might not even realize it. And the force behind it all? It's artificial intelligence. So what if I told you that the biggest wealth transfer of the 21st century is happening right now, as we speak? It's like this quiet revolution that is literally reshaping the entire global economic map.
Now, the engine driving all of this, it's probably not what you'd expect. We're not talking about oil, we're not talking about traditional trade. Nope, it's all about the code and, crucially, the infrastructure of artificial intelligence. But here's the real twist, the part that changes everything. This wealth isn't just flowing from the poor to the rich, it's actually flowing from the West to South Asia.
Okay, so to really get your head around just how radical this change is, we first have to take a quick look back. Let's talk about how the tech world used to work.
For decades, really, the global tech economy had this very, very clear playbook, right? Step 1, innovation. That happened in the West, the US and Europe. Step 2, manufacturing. That was Asia's job. But step 3, the profits? Oh yeah, the vast majority of that cash flowed right back to the West.
It was a pretty simple model when you think about it. Silicon Valley built the cool new gadgets and apps, and pretty much everyone else just used them. All the power, all the wealth was concentrated in one place. But here's the thing. AI is taking that entire script, tearing it up, and completely rewriting it. And this is all happening because of a fundamental truth about AI that a lot of people miss. It's not just some magical software that floats around in the cloud.
No, AI runs on a massive physical foundation. We are talking about sprawling data centers the size of small cities, millions and millions of super powerful GPUs, the giant energy grids needed to power them up, and the fiber networks that connect the whole shebang. This is a game of real physical stuff. And that brings us to the most crucial point of all. In the age of AI, whoever owns the infrastructure, well, they own the value. The power isn't just in the clever software anymore, it's in the physical hardware that makes it all possible. And that hardware, it's on the move.
So where is it moving to? That brings us to the new center of gravity for this whole infrastructure boom. We are seeing a massive build-out, but it's not happening in California or Virginia like you might think. It's happening in South Asia.
But why there, right? Why is all of this incredibly valuable infrastructure and all the wealth that comes with it suddenly shifting to countries like India?
Well, it really comes down to this potent three-ingredient recipe for AI dominance. First, you've got a massive flood of investment, and we'll get to the numbers in a sec. Second, a huge advantage when it comes to cost and scale, which lets them build these enormous projects way faster and cheaper. And third, and this is kind of the secret sauce, is a strong foundation of digital public infrastructure. That creates a massive, ready-made market just waiting for AI services.
Okay, so let's talk about the money first. We are seeing a projected $200 billion in investment flowing into countries like India just for AI data centers. Just let that number sink in. That's the big global players, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, pouring capital into building their AI backbone, not in the US, but over there.
But what's really fascinating here is that it's not just foreign money. The local giants are making absolutely massive plays. For example, Reliance is planning a push of over $100 billion into its own AI infrastructure.
And they are not alone. The Adani Group, they've committed another $100 billion. The sheer scale of this domestic investment, it's almost hard to wrap your head around.
And let's be really, really clear about something. This is not the outsourcing we saw in the past, where low-value jobs were just shipped overseas. No. This is capital relocation. The core assets, the literal foundation of the next technological age, are being built there.
And this huge physical shift is creating a completely new economic model. It's something experts are starting to call AI sovereignty.
Now, to really get what AI sovereignty means, you first have to understand its opposite, the old model, which has been called data colonialism. And this was basically a system where data, which is like the new oil, right, was pulled out of the global south, sent over to the west to be processed, and, you guessed it, all the profits stayed in the west.
And this comparison really lays it all out. Under data colonialism, value was extracted. With AI sovereignty, value is created and kept locally. Profits used to go west, now they can stay local. Data used to be exported, now it's processed right there on local infrastructure. It is a complete flip of the old power dynamic. And look, this isn't just some academic theory. It has massive, real-world consequences. We're talking a boom in high-value jobs, engineering, data science in South Asia, a whole new generation of startups being built on top of this local infrastructure, and this is the big one: less dependence on Western tech companies. That means the West is slowly but surely losing its exclusive grip on the levers of AI power.
Okay, now, we have to be real here. This shift isn't some perfect, seamless fairy tale. There are some pretty significant challenges and risks that come along with this new reality.
For starters, all this shiny new infrastructure, it still depends heavily on Western-designed chips, from companies like NVIDIA. And the big tech platforms, they still control a lot of the core AI models. Plus, we can't just ignore the massive power consumption and the environmental costs. And yeah, not every single dollar of this new wealth is going to stay local.
But even with all those challenges, the underlying trend is absolutely undeniable. As the experts are pointing out, AI is no longer just a shift in technology. It is a fundamental geopolitical and economic shift.
And when you boil it all down, what this really means is that for the first time in the modern tech era, the Global South isn't just being invited to the party, it's building the house. It's actively building and owning the infrastructure. And by doing that, it's becoming a new center of power in its own right.
So the next time you use an AI tool, ask a chatbot a question, generate an image, just pause and ask yourself a simple question. Where is this actually running? Because chances are the answer isn't just Silicon Valley anymore. It might just be a massive new data center somewhere in South Asia